Hi Aries, welcome to your mid-April 2017 update. It's Raina here, and I just wanted to tell you before I lay out the cards that in mid-April, Venus is going direct in the sign right before you, which is the last sign of the zodiac, Pisces, and this is your 12th house. And one of the features of the 12th house is past life stuff. So combining that and the fact that there's going to be a full moon in Libra, your opposite sign, on April 11th, just a few days before Venus goes direct, it makes me wonder if karmic love matters will be coming to the fore. So, and maybe even getting resolved in some way. So just keep an eye out for that. Also, on April 26th, you're going to have a new moon in Taurus, which is your second house. And this has to do with money that you earn. So that could be a new beginning there, which is very good for money. Okay, because this is a general reading, this could include any area of your life. Sometimes, based upon the cards that I see, there is a theme that emerges that may suggest relationship issues versus career. That certainly is the case here. So I'm not going to just deal with relationships, because I know that some people are in happy relationships and they are concerned about their careers or other things going on in life. But I just wanted to say that I may really focus on that, because we have as the central theme of this last half of the month the Page of Cups. This is a card I associate specifically with Pisces. As a matter of fact, I think I was just reading in one of my books that it is connected to Pisces specifically. Definitely water sign energy, so Scorpio or, oh gosh, I really need to, Cancer. I'm just, my mind is, it's past 2 in the afternoon and I still haven't eaten breakfast, so I'm a little bit spaced. So any of these signs, but specifically Pisces is featured then, and that doesn't mean that that there's a person in your life who is that sign. It could be the elements that are associated with Pisces that are front and center in your life, which would tend to be things associated with artistic endeavors, particularly. Sometimes with pages you're dealing with children, so there can be matters with children that are, is on your mind most in this time period. This is a card that's associated with gullibility and, with believing everything that people tell you. And this may figure into your life in some fashion, that you are allowing yourself, this could be a facet of you, that you are allowing yourself to be, I was going to say lied to, because that's the best way of putting it. If you're gullible, obviously it means that somebody's pulling the wool over your eyes, right? So let's look at why you're gullible, if this is you. Again, it could be other issues. Kind of a general theme anyway. In the past position, we have the Two of Cups, another Cups card. So whenever you have Cups, and it's not that there's a predominance of Cups, but whenever you have Cups, you're dealing with emotions. And the Two of Cups is associated with making a commitment to someone, possibly reuniting with someone if you were estranged, or forgiving someone. So this could be making that commitment. Somebody asks you to get married, you say yes. Somebody asks you to move in, you say yes. Someone wants forgiveness, or maybe they're not even asking for your forgiveness, but you finally decide that you don't hate their guts, whoever the person is. But this is the past position, and now we have this feeling of possible, this could be an active situation. It may not be that you have discovered that the person has done you wrong, but you are in this state of possible denial, because you might be seeing what you want to see, and you're just the pages relate to children, so there can be that innocence that we associate with children, but it's like the gullibility factor kicking in, because you're being too simplistic maybe about whatever's happening, and maybe glossing over some of the details. I think if this is career stuff, that it could be something creative. So this could be maybe that you are embracing that artistic side of yourself. And by the way, in that possible interpretation, the Two of Cups may indicate that you've joined forces with someone else in a creative endeavor. And right now, we have the Chariot. So this is the energy that is present at this time. So this is a card of victory, actually. It's a positive card associated with Cancer, one of the water signs. And so that a Cancer person may be figuring into your life. It's so funny because Cancer and Aries are both cardinal signs. So there's a lot of that. I think even though it's like a square type of an aspect, which means it's challenging, it seems like these people find each other because they both share a similar quality. In the case of cardinal signs, you and Cancer share a love of being catalysts, being very, leadership oriented, action oriented. Sometimes cardinal signs get really frustrated with a fixed sign, like let's say a Taurus, okay, because they tend to be too willing to just maintain the status quo. Or even a mutable sign like a Sagittarius, because they might think that they just talk too much and don't act enough. But you guys can get a lot done. So maybe you've partnered up with a Cancer individual for some project or for your business, and it's a creative project. Or the water element, just, I would say though it would be like a creative endeavor of some sort, and you were a good team in that regard. And the Chariot card points to that. In your private life, obviously that could be the same kind of a thing going on. However, this is the higher message. The Ten of Swords. There isn't just one interpretation, obviously, and even the ones that I give won't be the only ones. But it could be, as a higher message, it's saying to you, you don't realize this, but You're being betrayed. Or you don't realize how much a prior betrayal has affected you on an energetic level. And there's still some residue. You may be having some kind of success, but there may still be things that are bothering you about someone who betrayed you. However, this could be an active situation. And I especially think it's the case if it's a relationship, that you may be like with the rose-colored glasses and you're not seeing things properly. Another thing too with the Ten of Swords, it could also have to do with a Libra. Oh, what did I say? I said that there was that Libra full moon. And that may be when something gets revealed, because I was going by the fact these are swords and that's connected to air signs. So you're looking at Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but then we get this card as the challenge position, which is directly associated with Libra, the Justice card. So in the challenge position, something is not balanced or not fair. That is dealing with whatever's going on. Okay, one example would be if you get involved with somebody in a business partnership, make sure that the other person is carrying their weight, that you are not investing most of the money, doing most of the work, because again, I'll say this again, Aries is very generous. They're generous to a fault, and it's not to prop up Aries as a saint. All signs have positive qualities, challenging qualities, but you are typically a generous sign. And so there may be some imbalances that you're allowing without even thinking twice about it, but it's not good because you're starting something new. When you have the Two of Cups and even the Page of Cups, this is something new business-wise. In love relationships, that may be where you may have a Libra individual who is not being upfront, or they are just plain out taking advantage of you. This could also refer to the full moon, that there's going to be aftermath of maybe some revelation. Sometimes the full moon makes you aware of secrets, especially with that Venus retrograde in the 12th. Secrets coming out about partners. So actually, if you're watching this before the full moon, I don't mean to scare you or anything like that, but just looking at it from that perspective. What's coming in, or what is advice for you, is the Queen of Swords. I would say this is probably advice. And the advice is to combine the feminine and masculine principles of rational thinking with intuitive knowing. So with the Page of Cups also comes psychic ability, but sometimes with Aries, you are too, active to sit down and actually think about things. You're very spontaneous, and sometimes you can really nail down something very quickly because you're very fast thinking. However, sometimes you need to realize that your emotions are getting the best of you. And so that's where the Swords comes in. The feminine principle of intuition is not based on passion, however, either. There's a difference between your intuition and your your opinions, which are based on your emotional response to something. So you have to learn to know the difference between those two, or otherwise you can act upon your emotions and rationalize them and say it's your intuition, when really your ego is directing things. The queen is royalty, so the queen knows how to be a master of her intuitive faculties. And by being a master, as opposed to a Page of Cups, which is kind of like a very young energy, and it may be very creative and playful and intuitive, but there may be this undisciplined quality because the page is associated with youth. So queen is more of a master of this, and so there's a maturity involved. And with the swords, it's knowing how to override the emotions in order to make logical decisions. And some of that might have to do with another person. Not necessarily romantic, could be in a business situation. Maybe you thought you could have a partnership with someone. Maybe this is somebody you've worked with before and you had a falling out and you're giving them a second chance, but they're like screwing you over again in some way. It may not, the Ten of Swords, by the way, I should say this too, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting betrayed right now. It could be telling you that the worst is over in a particular situation that happened in the past. This would be particularly true, for instance, if you did forgive somebody for something that they did that had to do with betrayal. Then the Page of Cups could be saying that new love is here, maybe with a Cancer individual, and it's kind of, a healing situation because you did have that betrayal in your past. The outcome is the Seven of Pentacles. Remember that Pentacles connect to Earth energy, and therefore this is a tangibility issue. So it's not going to be theoretical. It's going to be dollars and cents, in the flesh kinds of considerations. And it's a work in progress. It's looking at things and seeing their viability. So if you're in a business situation with somebody, you may be saying, okay, is this going to pay, is this going to be a payoff here? Is this endeavor fruitful? So far it's showing itself to be, but I'm not sure it's going to be in the long haul. So I'm just going to sit here and assess the situation. And it's having that mindset of wanting to do something that is going to pay off, not having these pipe dreams. In your love life, the Pentacles can be relating to a relationship that's worth its salt, so to speak. So it's going to be something that is long-lasting, that is going to have a positive outcome. That, you can really, you've heard that expression, take it to the bank. You can really count on it. And maybe you couldn't count on somebody in the past, and that's evidenced by betrayal, and you want that kind of reliability. Well, you'll find out. You're still in that process. But it's showing good signs. So this is kind of an interesting reading for you because I think it's like looking at your life as things that have already kind of gotten underway. Maybe recently, but they still are trying to bear fruit. And you're sitting there. And I think the reason this is important for you, Aries, is that patience is not something that comes easy to you. And the Seven of Pentacles is about patience and kind of wait and see. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a private reading, Aries, where I look at your natal chart in many of my readings to kind of hone in on you personally, please click on the link below. Otherwise, have a great rest of April. Bye.